I used to always get a second date, but I was like, wait, I shouldn't always get a second date. In the past, I would be like, ooh, I'm going to withhold that information because they're not going to like it. But this time I've just said it. I never used to do that because I always wanted it to go well, but it doesn't need to go well.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so true.
Yeah. Like the goal isn't for it to go well. The goal is to figure out if you're a good fit. Welcome to the Christians Who Date podcast. I'm Andrea Alley, sitting here at my parents' house in Gilbert, Arizona.
Gilbert.
And
who even knows what that is?
I didn't even know that.
Are joining me.
I thought it was Phoenix.
Well, it's you like tell people Phoenix if they don't know Arizona.
Oh, so you lie to them.
Phoenix.
Oh, Gilbert.
But it's technically Gilbert. It's like a suburb. Like, I don't know. Lauren, what do you tell people like about Indiana?
I say Indianapolis instead of Carmel, Indiana.
Right.
Caramel. Do you guys eat Carmel?
Indiana?
Nah, just Carmel.
Nah, just Carmel. Not to be confused with Carmel by the Sea.
Carmel.
Or maybe Carmel by the sea.
Yeah. So, but can we really quick talk about what Kalli's situation right now on the pod is?
Seriously, sacrificing.
Kalli,
right
share
now.
What's happening right now in the moment.
It is a balmy 9 degrees in Bozeman, Montana right now, and I'm sitting in my garage, and there is a pile of snow at my feet, and I have a space heater and an electric blanket, and I'm ready to go. So,
oh my gosh, sacrifice.
Why is there a pile of snow?
That's actually what I was wondering.
Yeah, we have questions.
Yeah, there was somebody's car in here earlier, had a bunch of snow on it, and I don't know if it was they needed to clear the windshield situation or what happened. I didn't see, so that's what I'm assuming. But
oh, okay.
Yeah. Kalli sent us a picture and I was like, what the heck is happening? I'm like, does someone want to sponsor her to have like a warmer space to do the podcast in?
No, really. Yeah, we're gonna put Kalli's like Venmo up.
Yeah, we'll put it down. People can donate if they want. So we're exactly.
Next time the podcast is in a jacuzzi or something, that would be a dream.
My computer's like bobbing on the water.
Yes.
Incredible.
Oh man.
I'm sure that setup would be not very expensive. So
no, I think it would be great.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, I'd love to hear it. You both had a little trip in the Midwest without me, but I couldn't come. You got to see a good friend of yours. Tell me a little bit since I've not heard anything.
Okay. Well, Andrea, should I start it off with?
You started off, but they also know, like if you're a faithful follower of the pod, you know Jess and Be Real.
Yes, you guys, they need no introduction because they're truly iconic people. But it was Jess's birthday on February 9th. And I really wanted to surprise her for her birthday because she's come to visit me several times in Montana, and I was out there for their wedding, but I haven't been back since. And so I texted Be Real around Christmas and was like, hey, like, what would you think about me coming down and surprising Jess for her birthday? And he's like, oh yeah, that'd be sweet. So we were talking about it. And then I had the thought, I was like, oh, I wonder if Andrea is free. Like, that'd be so fun if we could both come down. So I text her and we figure out the details, but it was kind of up in the air if she could swing it at first. But then she let me know. She's like, yes, like I'm in. I'm like, awesome. And then it didn't really dawn on me to say like, oh, you should let Be Real know that you're coming. And Andrea did not let Be Real know that she was coming.
He had no idea, Dre?
He had no idea until 3 days before.
That's
3 days.
Hilarious. I had no idea that part.
He texted,
which is not a big deal.
But
I was like, Kalli's surprising Jess. I'm surprising Be Real.
Ooh, I like it.
It's all part of the plan. No, it was not. He was texting me about something with Jess and I was like, did you know that Andrea's coming too? And he was like, no, you're joking. He's like, you're lying right now. And I was like, oh gosh. I was like, no, she's totally coming. And then he texts Andrea. It's like, WTF.
Yeah, which is classic B-Real.
Classic
love
B-Reals.
this.
WTF, Andrea? Why don't you tell me you were coming?
And then luckily they're both very chill people, so it was like the best thing ever. And we surprised Jess,
Yeah.
and she literally threw her phone across the room and hugged us, and her baby was screaming because he was worried about how excited she was, and it was just the best.
Aww. So she literally
yeah.
had no idea.
I had no idea. Well,
She had a little hint of an idea, but
'cause she
didn't
connected-
trust it.
she's connected to Holy Spirit, so she was like, I literally was like,
She felt it in the spirit.
she was like, I thought about you guys, and B-Real was acting really weird like the day like we came.
Oh,
and
she
stuff.
knows.
So she didn't
Yeah.
fully know, but she had an inkling. I was like, Holy Spirit, you're supposed to be
He's
quiet about
cleaning
that.
and making beds. Why is he
No,
doing
that was
this?
it. Yeah.
He
He was
yeah.
like, you keep telling me to help out more. I'm trying to help out more.
was literally what he said. And she's like, what?
Because she's like, why are you rage cleaning right now?
Yeah, he's telling her
That's
like
so good.
piles of stuff she needs to put away. She's like, you've never told me to do that before. And he's like, you should also make the
Yeah,
bed,
this
like wash the
is-
beds. And she's like, why?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's like, I
she's
don't like how
something's
you
happening.
bossing me around.
This is good.
It was really
Okay,
good.
so you
So
got to
funny.
surprise Jess.
Yes.
And Jess is one of the best people
Oh.
ever to surprise. Like
The
her
best
reaction
reactions.
was incredible. Yeah. Yeah, it was so
was-
fun.
It was so good. And then Andrea, tell about some of the stuff we did.
Yeah, so we were just basically like, okay, what are we gonna do? Like, we're here. She wasn't like obviously like planning it.
They were visiting Ohio people, by the way.
We were
if they didn't
visiting
say that.
Ohio. Yep,
Cincinnati.
In the winter.
Ohio.
Nasty
I
had
Natty
never been
Wednesday.
there.
It was warm.
It was
Oh,
funny.
there you go.
Okay,
For me.
literally, Kalli and I exit the airport, and Kalli goes, "Oh, so warm," and I go, "Oh, so cold." So
yeah.
two different reactions. But yeah, I mean, the surprising them was like the best part, but it was also fun because I got to wait like to see Kalli get off the plane, which you never get to do that anymore, you know,
That's
because you have to
true.
like be
It
through
was
security.
cute. They sent me a little video. I loved it. And then
Yep.
I photoshopped my face in a picture of you two,
Yeah,
just to make me feel like I was with you all.
It was really well done, but also
Yeah.
we were like, why do you look like you're running from like
Oh, I was actually, I had a scarf on my
another
head.
country?
It's like she had like a blanket wrapped around her head. We're
I
like,
tried to find my weirdest like picture. Not that it's weird to have a scarf over your head, but I tried to find my goofiest picture to Photoshop me in with you all.
it was great.
That's all.
Felt like you were there with us.
I was trying.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
really, it did. My favorite was we went to the aquarium
We
Yeah,
sure
that was
did.
so
in
fun.
Cincinnati.
First
Yes,
time
we did,
ever.
which,
For me.
yeah. Wait,
For the
You mean
aquarium and for
to
an
any aquarium?
Yes, I told you this, Andrea.
You did ever when you were like
No.
homeschooled?
I don't remember that.
Andrea, I said
Oh my
this multiple
gosh.
times on the trip. And Lauren, I
I
live
wasn't
in
listening.
Montana.
I was so hyped about it.
we don't have
Montana doesn't have
aquariums.
aquarium?
No.
Yeah,
I
but
guess
you
guys
lived in
just have, like,
California.
national forests. National forests in
National
Montana.
parks.
Yeah, that thing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's
Well-
hilarious! I did not hear it because I was just so pumped to be
Oh my-
there. Probably
That's why we took
Wait,
like
what were you-
pictures and stuff
that's hilarious.
we took-
Wait,
we
Jerry,
took
what were you so
pictures
pumped about?
in a photo booth.
I
and
love
I was like,
aquariums.
it's my first time. So, anyways,
oh my gosh,
that's
so funny.
hilarious.
Yeah, we have a
You
great
did
picture.
not know.
We have a great picture with Jess, and yeah, I did not realize it was your first time, even though you said it a million times. I was
Yeah.
I was really into my own experience at the aquarium because I love the aquarium. I think
She
it's so
does.
great.
I think she
Yeah.
needs
If
to go on
you're
an
a guy
aquarium
out
date.
there, I was
Take her
gonna
on an
say,
aquarium date.
if you're a guy out there and you're listening because you want to date me, here's
Come
a
on.
tip: take me on an aquarium date. I won't be able to say no. Just kidding. That's not
That's
true.
powerful.
But,
That's a powerful statement.
I know. Yeah, I'm
I
pretty.
think
I'm usually able to say no,
yeah, but that would be tempting.
Be
but
hard.
it would. I'd think about it. I would think about it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Ohio aquarium.
And we got to hang
Sup,
out with Benjamin. Neither of us had met
Benjamin.
him before.
He's
Baby
one.
Benjamin.
Just turned one.
He's
fresh.
one. He's so cute. And also, I fell in love with Jess's corgis.
Yep.
They have
so
two?
cute.
Yep.
They have two corgis.
Jeffrey
Jeffrey
and Judy.
JJ.
Oh, I love them.
They're so cute.
Judy was such a little cuddle bug.
Little corgis.
And
Yes.
as Jess said many times, Judy could feed a family of 8.
Because she's so fat.
She's just like the perfect little like
a roast.
size. Yeah.
She demonstrated
and their
it
little
for
legs.
us.
Their little legs
like,
look like chicken legs.
Yeah.
Because the foot is like white and then it's like brown at the like thigh
okay,
part.
that's pretty cute.
It literally looks like a chicken leg. But yeah, we love Jeffrey Judy.
They're very cute.
They're so cute. We watched The Bachelor.
Sure did.
Typical.
Just
that was
took
great.
us on a full-blown hometown date, which was amazing.
No, truly. Yeah.
Took us to all the spots, lots of coffee. She made us coffee. She's like our favorite
she's
barista,
my favorite barista
by far.
Yeah.
It's the best. We saw Life of Pi, the play. It was incredible.
Yeah, we saw a play.
Is that what you were dressed up for in that show or that picture? Okay, that's it. I was like, what were you guys doing? You're all matching.
Yeah.
I know. That was an accident. Yeah.
It was great. Yes.
So it was really fun. We had a lot of good food. We had Skyline chili.
Okay, what do you think of it? That's definitely like a Cincinnati thing.
Yeah, it was funny because I'm glad we went and B-Real was there because he's from Cincinnati, and so he's like telling us how to eat it and stuff.
Yeah, there's like a way to eat it, and you gotta love it. And
yeah, I didn't hate. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It doesn't sound appetizing, but it actually was pretty good. I ate my whole. I had like a coney
cheese coney
or whatever. Cheese coney, yeah. I was a little bit like, am I just tasting cheese though? Because they put so much cheese on that thing. Yeah. But Jess got like the spaghetti so we could try
the
it.
chili and the spaghetti.
Yes. Have you had this, Lauren?
Yeah, I grew up in Indiana, so Ohio's my next door.
Well, does Indiana have Skyline chili too, or is it like you have to go to Ohio?
It's an Ohio thing. I have friends that lived in Ohio, and so I'd visit, and they'd be like, "You have to go to Skyline," so that's where we go.
Yeah. Cute. Oh my gosh! And then Jess was like, "Don't get full on Skyline." Like she's like, "Eat it, like try it, but like it's not a good idea to get full."
Oh my gosh! The warning.
Yeah, the warning was great. And we had graters. Have you had graters, Lauren?
Graters, people love it. That's also Midwest. It's not out here,
so
but people it's like healthy ice cream, whatever that means.
We didn't know that, but
yeah,
I'll take it.
It's supposed to be healthier ice cream. It doesn't have like some type of chemical that most ice creams do.
Oh.
Super random.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Great. Okay.
Wow, I love all this.
It tasted high quality.
You guys are being cultured.
So cultured.
No, we really got like a full Midwest experience for sure. We watched the Super Bowl in a basement, which I feel like is pretty Midwest.
Very Midwest.
Yeah.
Who has a basement? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. B-Real's parents do.
They sure do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was so good.
And then, Andrea, where did you go after we were done with Ohio?
I'm on the birthday surprise tour, guys.
I know. This girl is traveling these states.
I really am. Yeah. It was funny because my mom, I was already planning on coming out for my dad's birthday because my dad just turned 70. So I was already planning on that. And then Kalli was like, well, I'm going to go out for Jess's birthday. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I could swing it. But then I was like, you know what? I could totally swing it. I'll just combine them into one trip. So yeah. So then I flew from Cincinnati to Phoenix and literally like got off the plane. My mom drove me straight to the church where my dad works.
Aww.
And they were having like a little meeting. And they interrupted the meeting, and I was like holding a cake and balloons.
Oh,
cute.
Yeah, it was super cute. And my dad's like super even keeled, but he was totally surprised, like had no idea. But you can't tell really. Like he is happy to see me. Yeah, he's happy to see me, and he just goes, because they were like special delivery for David Alley. Like they're like. like we have a cake delivery. And so my dad goes, he sees me and he goes, you guys couldn't find a cake shop here or something like that.
Cute.
Very cute.
And then I like give him a big hug. And then it was really sweet actually, like the church went around because this is all like people he's gone to church with and worked with forever. Like they've been going to this church since I was in high school. And they went around and said like what they love about my dad.
That's so great.
Literally, yeah, I was like
so wholesome,
close to tearing up.
And you were a part of it, like you got to hear it, which is so sweet.
And I talked about him teaching me to drive. So
come on.
Yeah, it was really fun. And it was, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, it literally felt like I was being the one encouraged.
Aww.
And it was cute because a lot of them were like, oh yeah, like I call Dave Alley is like the one I call for, they like had all these random things. And I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was the only one calling him for this stuff. But he's like the dad of the room kind of, because he just knows how to, he's just like, I don't know, he's very resourceful. There's not a lot that he can't figure out. So people just call him for like, I don't know, they named like all kinds of stuff like sprinklers. Like
I don't know why, that's so sweet.
Yeah. So it was really special to hear that and be in the room for that. So that was awesome. And then today actually, you guys have met them, but my aunt and my uncle flew in from Austin and surprised him.
Oh my goodness. This has been surprise weeks.
I know, it's birthday week. Yeah.
I love truly, the surprises.
Yeah. It's the celebration that keeps on going. So I love it.
Who's next? I just wanted to know.
I know. Well, I obviously can't say.
Can't say it. Not on the pod.
So true. What am I thinking?
It's the snow.
I'm
getting to your head.
Yeah, it's just
the snow's getting to your head.
Yeah. So fun.
This is good stuff. Well, should we dive into what we're talking about today?
Let's dive in. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, I just want you to know that my high school senior photo is like right behind us.
Ravishing.
Definitely worth tuning into for that.
Please make sure you get a picture of that for Instagram.
Right
for the
there in the background. Yeah. Probably need to. It's not a bad photo if I do say so myself.
Great looking girl. Great looking woman right there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you clean up nice. You know what I mean? You really put the work in and it shows.
I know. I'm like, I used to like wear makeup and like do my hair and
that's how I
back
feel.
in the day.
Yeah. Looking at like professional photos, you're like, man, when I try though, it really
pays
comes
off.
out nice. Yeah.
Pays off, people.
Oh man. Okay. But yeah, today we're going to dive in. Lauren, do you want to tell the people?
Yeah. So I'm excited to be a part of this because I haven't heard of Kalli and Andrea's thoughts. But we're going to share, just because we're in the new year, we're actually in February, but Valentine's Day is going to be tomorrow. This will be aired later on. But we want to talk about what we learned from dating last year. So in 2024, we all dated in different ways, shapes, and forms, guys. In 2004.
So much dating happened.
2024, not 2004.
It's like
it would be like 15.
That would have been like
depending on
11.
Maybe the most we've ever dated collectively in 2024.
Yeah.
2024, we did a lot.
It was,
And then we also going to just share some thoughts of like what we're looking forward to this year when it comes to dating. And so who wants to start? 2024 reflections. Oh my gosh. So much happened. How do you even start?
Seriously.
Man.
I can start, but
do it.
Either of you can start.
No,
as well.
It's yours. The floor is yours.
Man, well, let's see. I feel like I learned a lot. So much. I feel like the biggest thing I learned was which this has been a journey for me, like that's been longer than 2024, but just how to trust myself. I think I would question myself a lot, like when, like I just would kind of make myself stay in things sometimes because I felt like they should work even if they weren't working. So, and so I think this year, like and it was really like the Holy Spirit and trusting that I like am submitted to him and that I hear his voice and that he speaks to me and that he is not trying to like trick me, you know, or like give me some like weird puzzle that like I have to like make sure like everything fits perfectly and like, you know, and it's really elusive and hard to figure out. Like I don't know, it was like no, he's not like that. Like it's if I'm asking him to lead me, like he will. So just trusting that I hear him and trusting that like my gut is right was, I think, a huge part of the beginning of this year. And I think my personality like really tries to I really try to like appease people. Like I really try to make things work. I'm like, I can be the flexible one. I can do it. I can make all the changes. I can compromise. And I really hit this like place where I was like, I don't want to be that person in a relationship, you know? Like I mean compromise is important, but like I'm like I don't want to be the one that like bends over backwards to like make something work, if that makes sense. So I think that was huge, and then that led up to like my relationship ending earlier this year, and that was hard. Like, it was a long-term relationship. So having the courage to be like, okay, I'm going to trust that even though I'm a year and a half older than last time I was in the dating field, and even though like I don't know what's going to happen, like I might be single, like that, you know, I don't know. It's like all these things that you kind of have to just accept. It was a decision that was hard to make, but once I got there, it was like, okay, like I know that this is the right thing to do. Yeah. And then just that healing process and even trusting myself through that, like that I didn't need to just, you know, because I was like, oh man, like I'm not 24 anymore. We're not messing around, you know, but like being like, no, but I'm going to take the time that I need to heal. I'm not going to just like jump back in there, you know? So, I think that was huge. And then just, I feel like in the last couple months, just being like, what does it look like to really go after this? And I think a huge thing in the last couple months has been like, I listened to this podcast that was where she talked about like, basically the concept of like, just like it's easier to steer a moving car. So like when you're doing life with the Holy Spirit and you're trying to be led by the Lord, like don't just sit there and do nothing. Like do what you can, like take action and then trust that he's going to lead you as you take steps and as you take action. And so I really took that and kind of ran with it for my dating life. And I'm like, I'm going to get out there, I'm going to meet people, and then I'm going to trust that like God's going to connect me with the right person. And that it's okay to go after this, because I think for the longest time I felt like it's just not spiritual to go after dating. I think that's how I felt. I was like, the most spiritual thing to do is like just be in the prayer room, you know, and like praying it in, and that's what trusting God is. And if you try to go on dates or if you get on dating apps, like it's not trusting God. And I'm like, I think that's Christian culture. I don't think that's actually like anything that's in the Bible. So yeah, I think I just kind of felt like, no, I think I'm to do the moving car approach. Like I'm going to be moving. There's going to be movement. I'm going to create movement as much as I can. And honestly, at the end of the day, sometimes I do everything I can. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like there's no one there's not a man on the horizon. And I feel like I've done everything, you know, like so they would get to points like that where I'd be like, okay, this is where I get to surrender and be like, okay, God, like this is in your hands ultimately. Like, because as much as I can do to create movement, I can't actually control what's happening here. So, it's just walking that line of like surrender, but like doing all that I can do as well. And yeah, it's been fun. And I've taken that like trusting myself thing and I've really applied it. Like I'm like, if there's not chemistry, or if we run into something that looks like I don't know how we're going to get past this kind of wall. Like, I think I'm just more aware of my non-negotiables now. Like, I think, and even getting to the point where I was like thinking about marriage with someone really helped me see what my non-negotiables were. Cause I was like, oh my gosh, like I actually can't bend over, like I can't like bend over backwards or like be flexible in certain areas in my relationships, because then I'm going to have to be flexible in those areas for the rest of my life. Like, like you're signing up to be, if you make yourself a certain way for someone, you're signing up to be that way. Like, or just totally change, I guess, after you're married. I don't know. But, yeah, now I feel like I'm rambling, but those are, I guess, the biggest things.
I feel like
that
you
I
just
learned.
like hit a well of like stream of conscious of like everything that's happened. I was like, whoa,
that's so good.
Yeah, this is why I usually let Lauren go first, is because
I loved it. No, I loved it. I was like, this is legit. This is like good stuff.
It's so good.
Okay, I'm glad. But yeah, trusting myself is the biggest one, and then just trusting God while creating movement, I would say is the second.
Trusting God while creating movement. Yeah, I feel like you did such a good job, Andrea. Like this past year of dating, like it was so inspiring and so fun to hear. And I think I love the confidence that like was built within you throughout this year of you dating. Like it was just the word confidence. I was like, oh, it's so fun to see you just come alive, even in the midst of the ups and downs, because it's obviously an emotional, it's a very vulnerable to date and to put yourself out there. But I felt like you just got stronger and stronger through the whole progression of this past year. And you met some amazing men. Like, I feel like it gave me hope. I was like, there's some really good guys out there. So
yeah, such good guys. Also, I thought of one more thing when you were talking. Oh my gosh, community. Like dating with community. Like, I can't even tell you guys. People said that, but I wish I had brought my community in sooner, honestly. And even like made myself a little more receptive to to feedback, I guess, like earlier on. Because people, like, your friends just see things, and if you're scared of what they see, why? Like, why are you scared of what they see? That's what I would go back and ask myself, like, Andrea, like, why aren't you invited? Why are you a little scared to invite feedback in? That's what I would ask myself. Because in the end, like, that was like a huge guiding factor for me, was like my community's feedback and what they were seeing. So yeah.
So good. So proud of you, girl. She crushed it.
What a year, man.
What a year. I feel like this is the year you went after dating more than any other. Like, it was amazing. So
I call it my side hustle.
And hopefully that side hustle will lay to rest one day.
Totally. Yeah.
And then you can just teach others your ways, which is great.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Back in my day.
When
this is what I did.
Yeah. That's how I feel like I sound sometimes. Yeah.
Kalli?
Okay. Me? Okay. Wow. What did I learn last year about dating? Multiple things. I would say one of the biggest takeaways that I had was that it's worth waiting for what you really want. As I've shared multiple times on the podcast, like, I've been single my whole life up until this, like, the last few months. And I just think about, like, there were several people along the way that I could have dated, but there was just nobody I like really felt peace about. And in a lot of situations, it just felt like there were really big compromises I would have made, or just things that I wanted that I didn't see in somebody. And so I think that people can look at singleness and just be like, oh, I just don't want to be single, so I'll be in this relationship. And looking at the choice, like looking back and being like, okay, I could have been in a relationship with somebody, or I could have been single. I'm so happy that I chose to be single, and I don't regret like waiting and just investing in the relationship I have now. I'm just really thankful. And along with like, I think waiting for a relationship, I feel like this last year I was really open to just everybody. Like, well,
You
most
were.
people.
It was fun.
I was really open. I just felt like, you know what? Like anything's possible. And there were dates that I said yes to. There were dates I said no to. But I was just like, we're just going to see what happens. And it goes with a lot of what we've said about creating movement and just like Andrea's whole thing with like the car, just like you're creating momentum in your life. And yeah, I look back and I'm like, oh, I'm really thankful that I was so open. And I feel like because of that, even like, I think that's a big reason why I'm in a relationship today. And I'm just really thankful. So yeah. And it's just fun. It's fun being on this side of things and learning so much. And like our relationship is not perfect. No one's is, but I'm really thankful for the relationship that I'm in. And I think that no matter what relationship you're in, you're going to work through stuff because that's how it should be and that's normal. But I think you should be really picky about who you decide to work through stuff with. So those are some of my big takeaways.
Can you speak to also, Kalli, the fear that people have, I think, of like, if I don't date though, and I like keep waiting, then I'm going to suck at being in a relationship?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that you had that fear, but I think people do have that fear.
No, I think probably people have that fear. I would say that's just a lie. Like, because
I knew you were gonna just be like, well, it's not true.
It's just not true. Like, it's just like anything.
Well, just like, has that been your experience?
No, it hasn't been. There's been so much that's been new for me, but it's just like you're learning a new skill or you're trying something for the first time. And it has not felt like, oh my gosh, like this entire new thing that I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I mean, there are times where I fully said to my boyfriend, like, I have no idea what I'm doing about whatever. And he's like, it's fine. And we figure it out. But it's nothing to be like ashamed of. And it's nothing to be scared of. It's just, you're doing something for the first time and have grace for yourself. And it's really natural though. I would say like the process of getting in a relationship and dating and stuff, it is very natural. So it's nothing to be like wary about. And if that's the route you take, if you wait a long time and then start dating, like you'll be great. So that's what I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a wise one.
She's so wise.
She's so wise. She did have some funny like she's asked out in really funny ways. I feel like this year that made me laugh. I'd be like, that person asked you out that way, or I don't know, just some funny things.
It's always like that.
It was a time. It was a time in my life.
It was a time in my life back in the day.
One of Kalli's favorite things about being in a relationship is being able to tell random guys who like want to ask her out.
Yeah,
she's in a relationship.
I finally have like what's it called?
An easy excuse.
An easy out, because I've never been able to say before, oh, sorry, I'm dating somebody. I've always had to just be like, sorry, I don't like you. or like
so much harder to have that conversation.
I know you have to actually be honest about it. You can't just blame it on your boyfriend. So it's really nice.
Hilarious.
Being like, no, thanks. I have a boyfriend, otherwise I totally would say yes. No, just kidding. But
yeah,
it's really nice. So the perks.
Oh my goodness. The perks. Blame it on someone else.
All right.
Yeah.
Lauren.
Sorry, I have a boyfriend and I would not date you as well. That'd be so bad.
Combine the dig.
The dig.
Oh man,
so funny.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Lauren, let's hear it.
Yeah, what did you learn, Lauren?
2024. Well, it's funny. I was thinking about, actually had to preface to 2023. I dated a ton, like online dating, and just kind of like dated
you did.
anybody, everybody, men wise. Sorry, have
be
to clarify in
clear.
this day and age. To be clear, this day and age, within my age range, by the way, because I don't
intergenerational date. Wow.
Yes. So we can talk about that later on another podcast.
Oh my gosh.
So with that, I was like, how do I drop this in?
Always.
So 2024, I feel like I was kind of going into it already like, okay, I don't want to just date anybody and everybody that's a guy.
Hey, if that's a phase you have to go through, that's fine.
You do. And I came in a little tired. But I was getting to know someone long distance, and it was probably one of the best long distance relationships, dating someone. It was hilarious. We'd work out on Zoom. They flew out to me.
We could literally do a podcast on how to long distance date, like based on that.
Did the best long distance dating I've ever. Shout out to you, person. I can't say your name, but what I enjoyed is they had a great relationship with the Lord, and I actually got excited and went on my first mission trip in 6 years because of them. So they really inspired me to do mission work again, because they had gone on a mission trip. And so I'm really thankful for that relationship of like the adventurous part of them, and like just they took like big gestures to be like, hey, I want to get to know you, and be really intentional and creative in dating. And they would like send me like roses to my door, and this person lived in another state. They would like DoorDash things, like dinners. We'd have dinners on Zoom. And so it was like a very creative, it was just very sweet. And again, I got to go to Brazil because I was inspired by this person to go on a mission trip. And so I feel like God really used that. And then I was getting to know, I met this other, and I met that person basically through a mutual friend. And then I, about a month later at an Easter party, met a guy, and we started hanging out a lot. And this person was also very like outdoorsy. We went on like a 10-hour hike, like up the side. It was the craziest hike of my life, and got ice cream afterwards. And it was like such a fun adventure. And they really had this cool relationship with God, and like love for the outdoors, and for culture. And so it was like another great experience. And I got to know some people through that person. And so I feel like I just saw God like using these really, really like, I want to say beautiful men. It sounds funny, but like these men that like, yeah, it wasn't meant to be like
these
long
beautiful
distance
souls.
Beautiful souls. They really do, like in their own ways. Yeah. And so I was just like really blessed by that relationship. That lasted probably like a month and a half too, of getting to know each other. And then I met someone while running and got to know him, and we dated for the majority of this year, or we're getting to know each other. And that relationship was like super healing. And we did 4 marathons together. So, which is crazy. Like, so just crazy to have somebody to share the passion of like exercising and health, and just like common interests. And that was like such a cool, like, I'm running 2 more marathons, my first 50K in the next 2 months, because I felt inspired by this person to like go big and to do things that I didn't think I could do. Like I've never done things like this, but I felt inspired. And so I think God really used this person like to inspire me and to push my limits of who I am and who I am as an athlete. And so I think I just was like, I like almost get teared up. I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful for these like really incredible men that really were good friends, like in different parts of this past year, especially the most recent, like who I really was my best friend. And I think that's something I learned about dating, is like you want someone that you can share common interests and like have friendship with, not just romance, but like to really have friendship with. So that is like something that I think I'm just like grateful that God brought really, really sweet, good men in my life this past year. So yeah.
Yeah.
Bittersweet though.
Good ones.
Bittersweet.
It is
Yes.
really, I've heard people say like grieving the friendship is one of the hardest and biggest things you have to grieve when you're breaking up.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
they really are like your best friend.
Your best friend you shared everything with. And so,
Yeah.
but also grateful, right? Like I'd rather have it been that than like this terrible human, you know, da da da. It's like I have really only good things to say.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
a
That's
lot of
amazing.
gratefulness. So I'd say 2024, I learned a lot about like adventure, being inspired, and then also like to slow like down, and you can meet people in person. I met 2 of them in person and one from a mutual friend, basically. None of them were through online. Not saying that you can't meet through online, but I'm like,
yeah, what are you
you
saying?
can meet people in the flesh as
Andrea,
well.
get off the apps, Andrea.
There is either way. There's hope either way, I'm saying. Because sometimes like, people are like, there's no way of meeting someone in person anymore. I'm like, you can.
Yeah, you
So,
can. We all met people in person last year.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Totally.
Go to the grocery store, start talking to people.
I know.
Yeah, get out there.
For sure.
Oh,
So
man.
yeah, so that's a little bit of last year for us. But Dre, what are you looking forward to in dating this upcoming year?
Okay, I'll try to make this less of a stream of consciousness.
Oh, I loved it.
Do what you want.
It was honestly powerful. Go for it.
Great.
Stream away.
Stream away. I feel like what I'm looking forward to, I honestly like sometimes I'll get a little down because I'm like, I'm sick of dating. But I feel like for the most part, it's actually been pretty fun. Like, it's just such a unique phase. Like, you get to talk to so many people, and you're not like, you know, the first 3 dates, it's not like you're talking out these hard, like, you know, you're not having like these big conversations that feel super high stakes, because it's like, if we don't go on a third date, it's fine, you know, like it's, like it's not the worst thing in the world. You don't have like a breakup like looming over your head. So it's really just like, I feel like it's been really fun. You get to be like kind of flirty, and I've really like I don't know. I think I've really just worked on just having fun and like letting my personality come out more, and not trying to be like, because I think, yeah, in the past I'll try to just be like super like, I don't know, somebody that everyone would like. And I think this time I'm like, no, I'm just gonna be myself. And if they don't like it, it's fine. So that honestly makes dating so much easier. Like,
yeah, totally.
and
take it or leave it.
Yeah, like I'm like, I was like, oh, I can't make this joke, but now I'm like, I'm gonna make this joke, and if they don't get it, that's good to know, you know?
Yeah. Good information.
And I've like ended, yes, and I used to always get a second date, but I was like, wait, I shouldn't always get a second date. Like and so in the past like couple months, I've like kind of killed a couple dates because I've said
you've been asked out a lot for second, third dates though as well. I'm impressed.
It's true, but I've also like in the past I would be like, ooh, I'm gonna withhold that information because they're not gonna like it. But this time I've just said it. Like there was a guy that I could tell he was way more into drinking, and I like barely drink at all. And I could have not touched that, but instead I was like, you know what, I actually don't really drink at all. Like, and then he, you know, like we were able to kind of come to this point where I was like, actually, I don't know if our lifestyles like super line up. And I never used to do that because I always wanted it to go well, but it doesn't need to go well.
Yeah.
You know,
I love that. That's so true.
Yeah, like the goal isn't for it to go well. The goal is to figure out if you're a good fit.
Yeah,
so,
it's like there's compatibility.
Yeah. So
you got to be honest.
Yes. I think dating has become easier because I'm willing to just kill things early if they need to be killed.
Things early.
You know, or communicate and just have those conversations. Like the more you have those conversations, the easier they get. So, and I'm just I'm just trusting myself a lot more. Like I'm like, if I'm drained, that's it. And I used to just let myself keep going on dates, even though I was drained. What is that about? So anyway, I'm just having way more fun. Honestly, that's what I'm looking forward to.
I like that.
It's
that's
so
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh
Kalli.
Girl chat.
Girl time. Man. Okay. What I'm looking forward to this year. I'm just really looking forward to dating in a relationship.
Come
so
on.
just, you know,
Easy.
it's fun because everything is like the first time for me pretty much. So like a couple months ago, like I think I mentioned it, but I met his family, like he met my family, like we had like Christmas together, like everything is the first time for me with that. And so I'm just really savoring it. And I've had a few people ask, like, you know, oh, do you see like, you know, going the distance right now? And I think it's important to date with those kind of things in mind, of course. But I'm really trying to just be present right now. And I'm trying to just enjoy exactly where I'm at. And when those things come up, like future talks and stuff, like that's great. But to let that kind of organically happen and not force myself to be in a spot that I'm not yet.
Yeah.
And it's just been really good. And we'll do a lot of like check ins with each other and just be like, hey, like, how are you doing right now with like our relationship? Like, is there anything I could be doing more or less? Like, let's just kind of like touch base on that kind of thing. And it's just been really, really helpful. And it's made me feel really safe. And like, I have doubts that come up, I have fears that come up, so does he. And it just feels like we hold space for each other in those moments and we can just honestly talk about it without having a lot of pressure of we have to figure this out right now. Like, if this is going to go the distance. And so that's just really helped me because I think if I felt the pressure to know right now, it would really suck the joy out of just dating. And so that's been the biggest thing. So I'm enjoying dating and
Let's go.
having things organically happen and come up, and we're talking about like different things we want to do like this summer, like hiking and like people we want to see, and it's just like really fun. And so I'm just really enjoying being present because especially, you know, these are the times I've thought about for so many years, being like, when will that happen or will that happen? And now it's happening, and I'm going to enjoy being in it and not wish I was in a different season than I am in. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. That's great.
All the fun things that we get to hear. We get excited.
Yeah.
I tell
love
them
how Kalli
everything.
like just owns it too.
Yeah, and Kalli gives like great details. Even like I was eating this candy or this seat was like this. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in the room.
I
Yeah.
know. I give
It's
those
so
especially for Lauren. She appreciates the details.
yeah,
So
I love the details. I'm
yeah.
like, I'm listening to an audiobook right now. So
Sometimes he really builds it up and you think something's gonna happen, then it doesn't, and you're like, you
Dre,
feel
you
this
do
big
that
letdown.
too. Dre, you do it too. Dre will always bamboozle us. She'll
That's
like
right.
sideswipe us and be like, and this actually happened. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's
We're
probably why
storytellers.
I respect it.
Storytellers.
Yeah, couple of storytellers
I
over
just say
here.
it straight up. I'm like, this is what happened.
Cuts to the chase.
I don't know. Cuts to the
I
chase. Yeah,
I
for
just want
sure.
you guys to go through what I went through, so I tell it the same way, like I experienced it. That's why I do that.
It's true. So like a 1 minute actual time could be like a 10-minute telling of the
Of the
story.
Absolutely.
descriptors.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I'll feel like awkward if she felt awkward or
Yeah,
you
we
know,
get secondhand
we get the
embarrassment.
emotion and everything. So
Yeah, we
All part
it's
of the
really
plan.
nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
All
she
right.
keeps us on our toes.
Okay.
Okay.
Lauren.
Okay. What I'm looking forward to, this was a hard one. I was like, I'm not looking forward to anything.
Oh.
But I think something I was talking to God earlier actually about this podcast because I was like, God, I don't have anything right now that I'm looking forward to like dating wise, just because I'm in more of like a grieving season. But I really felt like I was like, God, I actually do believe you can do anything. And I do believe you can change any circumstances. And you are really good at people's stories. And that doesn't even have to be in the area of romance or like my dating life. But I just have so much faith and hope that like God loves writing people's stories and God has done so much good. So he's going to continue to do good. And that's where I'm like, oh, I know you're going to continue to move. And you can also move suddenly. Like you can do anything. And so I just have been kind of having this feeling of like, God, I'm going to actually expect that you're going to move in whatever way in my life. Like that doesn't even have to be in the area of dating or romance, but I do believe like you're really like powerfully moving in people's lives. And it was interesting, on Monday, within the same hour, I get a wedding invite from a woman I formerly mentored. And then I get a video of another girl I mentored getting engaged. And I remember praying with both of them for their husbands.
Wow.
And it was within like 30 minutes of each other. And these are two like incredibly powerful women, love God.
Yeah.
These like are great guys, and they're way younger than me. But I remember just being like, God, you move. Like you provide in people's love stories. And if I keep looking just at like my love story, I'm going to miss out on like God's provision and like goodness in so many others. And I know we've talked about that in other podcasts, but I think God's continually like being like, do you trust that I like am really good and I really care about people's love stories and lives? And like, I really have like family for people. And it was my idea, like marriage and family and all of that. And are you going to like support it and trust me? And so I think I've just been like, well, what's within my control? Well, within my control is like my belief in God and my belief in his goodness and my belief that he like cares about like my heart and he cares about my relationships. And so I think that's maybe what I'm hoping for, is that I can like continue to have that faith in him, and then also have like that faith of like God can move suddenly, like he can do whatever he wants. Because I can tell I'm not in like a dating season, because I will like pass guys running and I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. Like I don't want to look at them. I don't want to like, everything is like shut down. But that's okay. Like you have those times you have to go through of like, we're just not there right now. But God can move suddenly. So 2025.
It's so good. And I love just your honesty about where you're at. And I just love you and appreciate you so much.
Yeah, I love you both.
Yeah. Lauren, you're a true inspiration. You have been my whole life, but
my whole life.
You really are. Like just how much you celebrate people and how much you just do not, like, even like you were saying on the last podcast, you don't give in to self-pity. Like you just won't.
No.
And you won't give in to bitterness. And I have always just been like, all right, if Lauren isn't letting herself go there, then I don't need to hang out there either.
Yeah, life's too short.
I really want to. It's fine.
Life's too short.
No, it really is. Yeah.
And I just love it because you've been such a boss. Like the last 2 years, especially with dating, like just like Andrea, you have ran at it. And like you said, you've met some incredible men along the way and you've learned so much. But I just, like Andrea said, such a freaking inspiration. So
truly.
It's so vulnerable dating. It hurts. I mean, I know marriage is also vulnerable, like from our friends. I'm like, that's another vulnerability as well. So I think it never ends. If like you're going to enter into any relationship, you have to put your heart on the line. And it's like, it can get hurt when your heart's on the line. And then also it can cause great love though. I mean, like great life and goodness. So I think we're hoping for that ladder of the life and goodness.
Yeah. He's so good.
Yes.
Well, any final thoughts?
I don't think so.
Nope.
Not from here.
Not from Arizona. Gilbert, apparently.
Not from Gilbert, Arizona.
I can't believe you never told
like
me that.
Cows here. Gilbert's funny because like growing up, it always smelled like cows. Like that was my only like
that's like here
memory of Gilbert.
Crazy description.
Yeah, but now it's like what's the word? It's becoming like gentrified. There's like
suburbanized.
Yeah, suburbanized. And so there's like all these people in the suburbs are kind of moving this way. And so it's like I'm like, whoa, this is like it's established. It's not just cow farms anymore. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, things are happening. Yeah. And today we went to a restaurant and the owner's nephew was my prom date. So
whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Small town.
Shout
world.
Is he still single?
Small town. I don't actually, I have no idea, but they were joking like, oh, do you get like some kind of discount? And I was like, yeah, I was like, this guy probably is married with 3 kids with someone else, but I'm going to waltz up there and be like, I want my prom discount.
That's right. You should have. He probably would have given it to you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was a great prom date.
There you go.
But yeah, I have no idea. I'm not following him on anything, so I have truly no idea how he's doing
for
now.
The best.
But
it's for the best. Just
what could have been?
Let it be at prom years ago. Let it be.
Just a rosy memory that we leave.
The one that got away.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Wow.
If you're out there, she's still
single. You're out there.
What's his name?
Junior prom. It was great.
What's his name?
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, we're not
gonna
name.
say his name.
Why not?
Kalli quit.
What if he's single?
Kalli.
I just want to know.
Probably has 4 kids and like a wife, and he has a grandbaby on the way.
Then
those
we'll take it back after we find that out.
Would literally be the Lord moving if he heard this podcast. The Lord moving.
Okay,
oh
junior
God.
prom.
Okay, we're
anyway.
tangenting.
That's all I want to know. Anyways,
we're
if you're out there.
Okay. Love you guys. Thanks for joining us. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.